And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to this special presentation of Stony Brook Seawolves Hockey live on LI Sports Network. From the rinks in Hauppauge, New York on beautiful Long Island during this cold evening. It's an exhibition affair between the Seawolves and the Farmingdale State Rams. Mike and Andrew are back and ready to bring you the action. We hope you guys out there had a very fantastic Thanksgiving. We sure did. Trevor Magnani to the right of me. And Trevor, we got a lot on our plate here, and no pun intended whatsoever.
Yeah, just under 24 hours ago, I was over in LA helping out YouTuber and 100 Thieves owner Courage put on his Courage Clash Fortnite tournament.
Oh, wow.
Giving out $100,000 in prize money across 3 hours, and then hopping on a red eye back to New York to cover Stony Brook hockey.
Quite the adventure for you, to say the least. And
that is understatement of the year.
And you got in at the right time, because this may potentially be a preview for what's to come in many years. A new rivalry with the Seawolves and the Rams, as you talked about, we've talked about in previous broadcasts. Farmingdale State, we knew they were on the schedule. There were a lot of rumblings of them making the jump to ACHA, and perhaps tonight a little bit of a preview for what could possibly come down the road.
Well, we knew about the jump to ACHA, and this is definitely a date that's been on the calendar, circled, bolded, and underlined for many players here on the ice tonight, and especially here for Farmingdale State. They're the definite underdog tonight here, ACHA Men's D2, but definitely geographically, Stony Brook's soon-to-be newest local rival in Men's Division I next year as they make the jump up. So tonight is definitely going to be a bit of a proving ground event here for the Rams, as they will be trying to take on a very strong Stony Brook Seawolves roster, one that's kind of had trouble finding its footing this season, a little bit of a meandering record this year, and definitely you look into the weeds of it this year for the Seawolves. You get a little bit of a head scratcher here, but the Farmingdale State Rams here come in with a strong 13-6-0-1 record in Men's Division II. They've got a pretty solid power play and a pretty decent penalty kill as well. They've got the coaching staff of 5 to help them out there to keep this team on the up and up. And this is a team that's building the infrastructure for years to come here.
Absolutely. And if you are someone that has watched hockey on LI Sports Network, you definitely are going to recognize some of these names that are on Farmingdale. I sure do. Riley McGregor, Devin Quinones, most notably Frank Alessi. He's going to be starting on the defense tonight, coming into game number 21, and he's looking to put up more than just goals on the board. He has 9 assists going into this matchup for the Farmingdale Rams. And in goal, Andrew Barron. 10 games under his belt this season, and an astounding record of 7-2, 2.28 goals against average. He'll have his hands full against a very formidable Stony Brook Seawolves front, who will be powered by no other than the captain, William Cormatic, leading the squad in numerous categories, coming into this matchup with 26 points in 17 games played. One player, most notably, that will be out of the lineup tonight due to load management is Justin Nakagawa. And when you realize that this is an exhibition affair, you can honestly say that makes all the sense in the world. It's the right decision. You don't want to overload your players, especially in a game where there's not a lot of writing on the wall. But for Stony Brook, any type of game will do for them. It's going to bring some energy to the table. Like Trevor mentioned, a new rivalry inbound beginning next season. A nice preview for what's to come, and we should make mention of another familiar face here on this ice, Teddy Valenti, who I was informed just a few moments ago by his father, no less, letting me know about his hockey journey. And prior to playing for the Stony Brook Seawolves, and Chris Garofalo. He was the 2022-23 Rookie of the Year for the Farmingdale State Rams. That's right, he is going up against his former team in this very anticipated exhibition affair here at the rinks. Absolutely,
and as we get winding down here, we're going to actually have a special guest here over on color tonight. I'm going to be stepping off here and handing over the color reins here tonight. I'll be handling the replay and all sorts of fun stuff here tonight. So we got a bit of a tight booth up here.
All right.
So we'll get this pregame wrapped up here and get ourselves going.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we knew at some point this was going to be like this. We always welcome a nice large crowd on our hands, both in the stands but up here as well. So very welcoming environments.
We're gonna have to move some things around here. This is
oh yeah.
I think we got radio up here tonight too.
Oh my gosh. We have the whole 9 yards here. If one could say.
That's supposedly a bit of a tight turnaround for the radio team as well. No. So we're going to take a break here. When we come back here, we've got starting lineups, national anthem, and then it's time to drop the puck here at the rinks in Hauppauge for Rams and Seawolves. Stay tuned.
At Stony Brook Medicine, our gastroenterologists perform a groundbreaking procedure that restores the ability to eat, so Kevin can enjoy dining out again. Our kidney transplant team has one of the fastest transplant rates in the nation, so Pat can spend time doing what she loves. Our skilled surgeons perform robotic-assisted surgery for colon cancer, so Chris can get back to reeling them in sooner. Leading the way to make your life stronger. We are Stony Brook Medicine. All we do is all for you.
And we welcome you back to the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. The officials are standing in the neutral zone, waiting for the two teams that make their way onto the ice here at the rinks. And joining us for tonight's special festivities on our hands is Mr. SportsCenter Top Play nominee, none other than Travis Quigley, former West Islip Lions County champion and PAL Junior Islander products. Travis, welcome to the broadcast, my friends.
Happy to be here with you guys tonight. Super excited for, I've been around different rinks this week, the past 2 weeks really, hearing from all different kinds of folks, people talking about this game. This might be one of the most hyped games in Long Island hockey in many, many years. So really excited to be here with you guys tonight.
And you can definitely say the hype is more than appropriate considering Stony Brook. It seems like they've existed without that rival to go with them, that in-county rival, I should say, that Long Island rival. So it is definitely something looking forward to. And Farmingdale, they have a lot of talent on their side. And this is definitely a game that they'll look to bring a fight against Stony Brook. Stony Brook, we talked about at the top of their broadcast, this is even though an exhibition game, they're going to play their hearts out as well. They won't have Justin Nakagawa in the lineup, but they will have plenty of familiar faces leading the front here tonight. And here come the Seawolves. Yes, I should have given you the heads up. We do have a goal horn and a lot of things in this facility. There's an air raid siren too, so you're going to get very immersed into the Stony Brook culture very quickly, Travis.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is going to be a fun game. I'm expecting a fast pace as soon as the puck drops. And I think, as you talked about, the rivalry that can be developed out of this game, a real battle for Long Island, and especially with the Rams making the move up to the ACHA M1 next season, this is something that can brew for years and years to come, and I think we're going to see this rivalry build. It's going to start with the opening face-off in a little bit, though.
Absolutely. Now let's join the public address announcer, Leon Bassett, for tonight's starting lineups.
Number 5, Jacob Burgess. Number 8, John Farmingdale. Number 44, James Milano. Number 47, Sid Duffy. Number 83, Frank Gillespie. And you know, number 34, Andrew Brown. And he is the starter for your Stony Seawolves! On defense, number 44, Colin Whitman. His defensive partner, number 73, Jackson Askin. The left winger, number 15, Cooper Smith. The center, number 27, Eddie Mena. The right winger, number 4, Max Norton. At this time, we ask everyone to rise for the singing of our national anthem, which will be performed on the ring.
Oh, sing and you sing, while the dawn's early light, once so proudly we hailed, and the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars
addition, as always, from Mrs. Mary Peck, the mother of former Stony Brook Seawolf Chuck Peck, and who you happened to play some midnight puck with a couple nights ago downtown in Superior.
Oh yeah, and we still got the same chemistry we had back in juniors. Love playing hockey with Chuck Peck.
And we'll love to see these guys bring the fire here tonight. Leon Bassett, I'll tell you one thing for sure, is that he is fired up for this one with the announcement of the teams. And now we got the two goaltenders getting themselves situated in between the goal nets. Steven Reganato, 7-6-2 this season through 15 games played. Opposite of him, starting in goal for the Rams, Andrew Barron, 11th game of the season. He comes in with a 7-2 record and a solid 2.28 goals against average. We'll see what that brings to Farmingdale in this much anticipated exhibition affair here at the rinks in Hauppauge, New York.
Rams 3-2 in their last 5. Stony Brook 1-4 in their last 5. For both these teams, last game of the first semester, you want to go out on a high note.
Absolutely, as this is lifted up ahead. Seawolves trying to create some energy early. Wenrick gets the first touch on it, floats it in. That's played off the pad of Barron. Farmingdale playing catch in the back end as Lombardo is able to shoot it out safely, but it got blocked away that time by Haskins. Cooper Smith re-engaging back in the zone, offsides called.
Quick changes for both sides here. I expect it to be that way through the first couple of minutes. Going to want to roll through all 4 early on in this one.
One thing that at least for me, I notice when it comes to Stony Brook, when they come off a long stretch of a break, it's usually the first period is the feeling out phase, and we'll just have to see how the pacing goes for the rest of the way. As you mentioned, Farmingdale, they're going to get new reinforcements out one by one. Get themselves situated here as Cormatic takes a spill. DeZaro making contact in front, and a save made by Barron as he stretched across there. Good play by Cormatic, mitigating the offensive surge for Farmingdale as the Rams can carry through the neutral zone. This one is floated back the other way by DeZaro. And you can hear the chattering begin from the Farmingdale Rams. They love the hit that time on Paul DeZaro by one of their players.
Good turnover forced.
Big chance in front. Great stop. Barron with the splits again. Oh, that's not good. A puck to the cage. And fortunately, because of the cage, Lorenzo Mara may have escaped from further damage there. And watch the save made by Barron. That's the first one. And here's the second one, Travis. I mean,
it all starts with the turnover up at the blue line. Farmingdale can't be playing with the puck at their own blue like that. Andrew Barron, phenomenal athleticism early on in this game, getting post to post in the splits.
The Staten Island, New York native providing an early highlight reel to his resume here at the rinks tonight. Kowalski, Poirier. Stony Brook trying to charge up again, offsides called. And Travis, we kind of expected this was going to be the type of game these two teams are going to be in for. A lot of just feeling things out. There's going to be a bunch of quick whistles just based on the unfamiliarity that these two teams have with each other.
Yeah,
this gets twisted in.
I think, like I said early, we're going to see these teams roll through the lines pretty quickly through the first 4 or 5 minutes here. Get everybody a touch of the puck, get everybody's feet onto the ice, get them adjusted to the pace of the game. And then I want to say by the 13-minute mark, that's when we're going to see these teams begin to take their chances.
Well, there's a familiar last name on the ice, Travis. Joe Quigley. right in front, score! It's the Rams who strike first. Thomas Ivers.
That's just a battle in front of the net right off the face-off. Joe LaChase, the center, does a good job tying up on the draw. It was Quigley who initially got through. Ivers follows it up, pokes the puck free, and has a yawning cage to pop it home. 1-0 for the Rams just over 2 minutes into this game.
6th of the season in game number 21 for the former East Islip Chief, Thomas Ivers, packing a quick punch to the Seawolves with the game's first goal.
Big next shift for both these teams now. How do the Rams come out, and can Stony Brook respond quickly?
The Rams back in familiar territory again as Stepney, or pardon me, Reganado collecting another save, as here is Max Gorzalonic getting his first licks there. And Farmingdale continuing to put the pressure on Stony Brook. Cooper Smith left out in front. He's guarded there as Gorzalonic tries to make something happen, stumbles to the ice, and the hits starting to pile on for Farmingdale as they look for an exit strategy out of their zone. They do got one. Lombardo couldn't get a touch on it. Duffy trying to get a stab at it as well as Cooper Smith once again turns it over. Duffy re-engaging back in the zone. Stony Brook trying to fight him off with the stick work. And Duffy showing some resiliency here in this first period on that latest shift.
Farmingdale, good jump for them following that goal.
Smith tried to angle it over to the captain, but it deflected off the skate of one of the Rams there. And Farmingdale trying to exit out of the zone cleanly. Stony Brook putting them back against the wall once again. Malik rushing over against his man. It gets turned over. The captain, Cormanic, tries to dance. Couldn't put it out in front cleanly there. And one player descends to the ice.
Power play coming here for Farmingdale. And they have had a lot of juice behind them since scoring that goal.
And Christian Malik will sit in the sin bin for 2 minutes. Farmingdale coming into this matchup with a 32% power play, or I should say 16 for 49 on the power play, 32% in that department. And they have plenty of artillery on the ice to get the job done in that way. That's if Stony Brook can shut them down this time around. Poirier covering against his man. A stumble at the top, but great recovery done by Alessi. A lot of open space, another chance. Fought off there by Reganado. Alessi trying to work at the top. This one couldn't be cleared out. Another chance in front for the Dan. Score! It is 2-0 Rams.
Big body Dylan Bridgewood in front of the net doing what he does best. Pops out off the goal line in front. It's Ivers who gets it off the boards. Great keep from Alessi. Pops down, Thomas gloves it, slides it to Bridgewood, and a quick forehand backhand move right around the netminder Regnado. And not even 5 minutes in, Farmingdale up by 2.
A pair of points for Ivers and goal number 7 for Bridgewood for the team's 17th power play goal of the season, and icing called, and it just continues to get bad for the Seawolves as they are now kept in a precarious position with a face-off draw in their zone.
It was all Stony Brook for the first 2.5 minutes. They really kept Farmingdale hemmed in, but after the Rams scored that goal, it's just been Farmingdale.
Wenrick pushed over there that time as this gets floated out off the boards, but back into the hands of the Rams, and they'll try to work through the neutral zone quickly. Vernillo recollecting, trying to keep it away against the Rams. as Stony Brook looks for something to go for them.
Vernillo's a guy with a lot of speed. I'm expecting him and looking for him to use it tonight.
There he is, showing that speed. Almost a crucial for Seawolves as Farmingdale breaks out again. Thomas Ivers tried to lead it forward, contact in front as one of the Rams fell to the ice. That was Quigley. And this will no doubt go for icing. And once again, Stony Brook still struggling to find ways at gaining the zone of Farmingdale.
And I like this from Coach Maisie of the Rams. Another line change. You get some fresh legs out there, tired bodies on the ice for the Seawolves. Stony Brook certainly has to find a way to gain some momentum fast here.
Broadwell set to take the draw once again. It's one to the back. Shot from the top, blocked there by Anastasio as that one gets floated around to the far wall. Farmingdale keeping the pressure on Stony Brook as Reganado holds up.
Seawolves get that much needed line change, 5 fresh skaters out there, and another important defensive zone draw.
Kyle Stepney on the ice here for Stony Brook as Mullen and the Seawolves try to rectify the situation, and a big blast got deflected off a stick in front as McGregor let it go from the top.
Good job by Hyde to get in the lane.
A big block there by Labos. Peter Labos leading it forward. Here's Hyde. Can't get past the defense there, and Labos will get another try at it. Labos being guarded heavily by Crodwell. Another chance, floated across, no one home. Stony Brook still working strong in front. Labos tried to connect there with his man. Another chance, that one may have gotten a piece of Barron as this gets cleared away safely.
Labos had some time in the high slot there. I'd like to see him pull the trigger and shoot instead of make the pass.
Whistle for a hand pass here. That stops play. And it's definitely not what Stony Brook intended for this period to go, as Farmingdale flying out of the gates with everything going their way. It seems like everything going according to plan, sending a message to a potential new rival, and here's a chance. Breakaway opportunity, blocks.
Incredible back check from Kowalski. Del Grosso had a big burst of speed.
Malik and DeZaro peeling away, but he got put to a stop heavily that time. Another collision in front. Malik standing up from that as Kowalski has to pinch in to keep it in the zone. Malik there for support, but instead it's Farmingdale exiting out, or so I thought, and this one gets surrendered back to the Seawolves. Kowalski with a roller into the corner boards. He detours to the bench. Meanwhile, Farmingdale with a lot of space to re-engage the other way. That one took an adventure off the glass, and here come the Rams back in the zone with a chance to save Reganado, and play is stopped.
A little over 7 minutes in. Shots 8-4 for Farmingdale right now. Really taking it to the Seawolves over the last 5 minutes since scoring the opener.
This one is chopped in front, and Ridgewood having his hands full in the corner. Haskins guarding him heavily, and Haskins wins that battle. But it's quickly turned over, and another save made by Reganado. Stony Brook trying to break out the other way off the stop there.
Good job by
Big
Nolte.
check there on Legretz. And the linesman got in the way as well, as this one gets floated back into the end boards. Cooper Smith making contact in front. Another chance. Legret couldn't fire it home that time. And this one gets away from Wenrick, and it leads to a chance for the Rams. Not enough there that time. Back and forth we go. Farmingdale banking it off the boards. Found by DiNapoli. Stepney trying to turn and burn. Stepney with some wizardry there as Anastasio will lead the cavalry back in the zone, but Farmingdale doing a good job of mitigating the offensive surge. And once again, here comes Thomas Ivers.
Out of gas, end of his shift.
And he went right up against Stepney there, so it was a losing battle. Nonetheless, another chance in front. DiNapoli put to a stop, held up. Stepney left in front with a Wayne. Over the net it goes. Farmingdale almost taking it back. Duffy and Ivers. Ivers to the bench. Here's Vernillo. The speed and tenacity coming into effect as he tries to get the possession here. Hyde, hot off the bench. Farmingdale able to bounce it back the other way. And that chance blocked off the skate of Poirier, who floats over to the near man Anastasio. Hyde. Seawolves trying to come up with something, and Farmingdale is just chewing every one of these plays up. And there's another save made by Barron.
And it wasn't a great angle shot, but for Stony Brook, that's exactly what they needed right now, was just get a whistle inside the offensive zone where you can get a face-off, slow it down a little bit, and try to reset things here with a face-off win.
And they sure do got the man to get that done in Robert Hyde, who was awaiting for the possession to go to him. And that one will get on his stick. Poirier, Hyde, and that chance swallowed up again by Barron.
Seawolves are going on the power play. Tripping call coming.
Indeed, and Hyde was the one that drew the penalty against Farmingdale's Anthony Rodriguez. And this will be the first Stony Brook Orthopedic Associates power play of the night. The Seawolves coming into this matchup 8 for 50. And not the type of statistic they want to have in the special teams departments on that front, as Farmingdale will try to kill off the penalty and prevent Stony Brook from cashing in on this big opportunity here in the first. 10 minutes left to go in the opening period. Wenrick at the top. DeZaro controlling. Wenrick. Back to DeZaro. DeZaro shifting over. Wenrick fell there on contact. DeZaro still in control with it. Now it's played on the stick of Malik. Malik gives it to DeZaro. DeZaro cross ice speed to Hyde. Over to Wenrick. Perimeter opening up. And Farmingdale read it perfectly to getting that clear.
Great read by Keller there as he saw they were looking to open up Robert Hyde on that weak side. He's got a bullet of a shot. Definitely not someone you want to leave open like that.
William Cormanic muscled his way onto the ice, and another clear made by Farmingdale. And just like that, down to the final 50 seconds of power play time. Stony Brook in a difficult situation to get one in the back of the net here. And Mara with Anastasio in tow. Gets it back to Mara. Mara in front. Great stop there. Barron shutting the door at all angles.
Kicking out that left flipper to make the save.
Anastasio got it over to Poirier. Poirier walks it back to the point. Gives it over. Poirier steps into one, another save by Barron, and another clear to go with it for the Rams.
I think that was friendly fire hitting Matt Anastasio in the back there as he was trying to set the screen.
And just like that, neither team, or I should say Stony Brook in this case, not able to capitalize on their power play opportunity. And Farmingdale in front, another chance denied there by Regalado. Under 8 to go here in the opening period. Stony Brook trying to get something to go their way. Vernillo pinched up there in the corner. Vernillo with the possession. Vernillo dangles. Vernillo fires. Just misses wide.
Great look from Vernillo there.
Vernillo now pinned up against the boards as Farmingdale in some trouble here. Got some tired skaters on the ice. Another chance for the Stony Brook. Nullified and further cleared out, but hitting the lights there. And you do what you got to do to stop the play, and Farmingdale did just that.
7:15 left in this first period. It's been better over the last few minutes for these Seawolves, especially coming off the power play, and just before it had started, it was a strong shift from the hide line. They got to get on the board, though, here. Have not been able to solve the puzzle. That's Andrew Barron.
Cormatic not able to win the draw, and another clear made, and another misfire into the bench. We'll do it again. If there's one man that could change the tide here for Stony Brook, it's the captain, Cormatic. 9 goals under his belt, 26 points in total as Barron is heading to the bench, perhaps an equipment malfunction of some sorts. A lengthy chat. And
yeah, that's the goalie coach he was speaking to, so potentially something with the equipment.
Okay.
We'll keep an eye on that for sure, though.
And Barron gets himself situated once again. Pitching an early gem here as Stony Brook struggling to find ways to best the beast that is Barron. Another chance, another sliding stop by Barron. Rebound, another stop. And Barron with the pad all over. Score! Snipe City! Kyle Nastepny!
You felt one was coming for the Seawolves, and that's a great shot from the point with traffic in the high slot. And you had to figure the Rams got bailed out by Barron right there on that save. That wasn't an easy one to make, and he made it anyways. Seawolves stuck with it, pops to the point. Like I said, high traffic in the slot. That's what led to that goal. A beautiful shot there, and it's 2-1.
Nastepny with a big goal to get Stony Brook on the board. His 5th of the year. And now Cooper Smith trying to match Farmingdale here. Kowalski. It's a game now, and a possible breakaway the other way. Crodwell to the goal, misses wide.
Good speed from John Crodell.
Heavy check thrown there. Smith in trouble, belted to the ice. Crodell kept it in the zone. Now it's Poirier trying to settle things down, gave it up in front. That one stopped by Reganado.
That's a big time save. Almost a very costly turnover right there for Stony Brook.
Farmingdale calling the line change as Stony Brook breaks in, but we get a whistle for icing.
A goal against would not have been what Stony Brook needed in that situation. So certainly a really important stave right there from Regnado. Seawolves got to keep this momentum behind them. The flag's flying their way right now after it was flying majority in the Rams' direction for most of this first period.
And that's been one of the key storylines for Stony Brook in these past couple of weekends, when it seemed like they had the momentum going forward from a goal that broke the deficit to 1. It bites them back. They let up 2. Well, we'll just see how the story goes for them this time around. Contact in front again. Legret getting awfully aggressive there as Ivers brings the possession in. Ivers leads it across. Late man in the picture. And it gets twisted down low. Ridgewood, or pardon me, Quigley trying to get a touch on it. Another hit thrown. That was Ivers. getting back to his feet. Quigley left up on the far post. Another chance from a far angle, missing there. Quigley took some contact as Stony Brook pushes back the other way. Mara dancing to the net, missed it wide.
Rams got to be quicker coming off the bench there. That was too easy out of the zone and then through neutral ice for Stony Brook.
Hyde in pursuit of the possession as this one gets bounced out of harm's way, but the race is on now, and winning that race at the expense of Del Grasso falling was Haskins. And meanwhile, here is Labos back the other way. Labos. Stepney couldn't handle the feed there. Stony Brook trying to keep the possession in the zone. Farmingdale, meanwhile, coming up with the clear. Teddy Valenti, the former Ram, on the ice. As this one takes a bounce off a skate there. Farmingdale collecting themselves for now as Stony Brook tries to get even with the Rams. Here's Ridgewood moving back in and getting the possession in front, tried to pull it through his legs there. We get a stoppage, hand pass signaled. 3:51 remaining here in the first. It was all Farmingdale until Stepney got the Seawolves on the board, and now it's uncertain as to which direction the rest of this period is going to go. Here's Hyde, Robert Hyde, trying to turn up the Jets here. Hyde streaking down the wing, slamming on the brakes, fed it in front, no one home, and Ridgewood will take it back the other way, or instead launch it high off the glass. And this leads to a turnover. Farmingdale getting it back, but not able to execute there.
Yeah, tough pass for Nolte to control there. And I think Bridgewood was just like, you know what, I'm going to gain the red, head off, and get some fresh legs out here.
But it did do the job at keeping the possession in the zone and almost giving his team a nice chance in front.
Yeah, got a perfect kicked out off the glass there.
This one gets banked back through the neutral zone off the boards. Haskins will handle business. Crodell offering pressure against him. Now Anastasio back in the mix. Anastasio floats it forward. Couldn't connect cleanly there with the charging DiNapoli. Now Vernillo pinches over. And the Rams attempting to break out the other way. Stony Brook read it though, as Anastasio almost coughed it up. They did cough it up. Another chance swallowed up by Regalado.
And that's something we've seen from both of these sides tonight, where some costly turnovers inside 5 feet of the blue line. And you're going to hear every coach in the world say this when you get to juniors, college. I know they say it in the pros. That's the worst place to turn the puck over. Inside your own blue line, within that 3 to 5 feet, you do not want turnovers there.
Bounces around in front, now DeZaro will float it forward. Couldn't connect there with the captain, Cormatic, as it goes all sorts of directions before it finds the end boards. DeZaro rushes over to try to get a piece of it. Farmingdale in a precarious position as they will float it out.
What hand-eye from Ivers.
Absolutely. And a big chance just missing. May have gotten a piece on the initial shot.
Yeah, that one was blocked in front.
Kept alive there by McGregor. Played down low, put out in front, but no one home. The Rams cough it up. Hyde read it. Got it in at the right time. The captain, Cormatic, though, couldn't finish the job. Another chance. Ricochet there off the pad of Barron as Hyde and the Seawolves trying to make amends here as they aim to tie the game up.
It was a bad change from Farmingdale coming back, which has led to Stony Brook getting this chance in the offensive zone.
Ivers with a miscue there, leading to a chance for Stony Brook. And the Seawolves offering relentless forechecking there in that latest shift. There is a lead feed blocked away by Ridgewood. And Mara lost his stick in the process. Bridgewood, thank you. Askins taking the task. Final minute of play has been reached here in the first. The Rams now find themselves in the same difficulty that Stony Brook had with getting things to go in the back of the nets. They control the narrative for now. Labos, from a tough angle, put it out in front. It got deflected out of play.
Good job by Barron there, just sticking that one over the glass. Not allowing anything to pop out in front of the net. You see there, that's what I was talking about. Just outside your camera angle there, you saw that late change from Farmingdale. I want to say it was Quigley. And that led to Stony Brook getting a couple opportunities. And again, every coach at every level is going to say this. Make sure you're changing when the puck's in the O zone, not in the D zone.
Stony Brook trying to offer another opportunity for themselves. Poirier from the top through a screen of bodies, caught in the glove hand of Barron.
Yeah, good job tracking that one down. Like you said, swarm of people in the high slot right in front of the blue paint and still able to make the grab.
Napoli been all over the ice, trying to get his licks in all shifts so far as Farmingdale breaking back in. The Rams with time running out. Now it's the Seawolves' turn to try to get something going. Heads up as that went out of play. Very tightly played first period with the Rams, who had a 2-0 stranglehold over the Seawolves. And it seemed like they were just going to batter them the rest of the way, but not before Kyle Nestepny finally got the boys on the board. And Poirier will run out the clock. After 20 minutes of play, the Farmingdale Rams lead 2-1 over Stony Brook. First impressions on the period, Travis?
I thought it was Stony Brook who had the better start. It looked like they had a little bit more jump. Farmingdale quickly turned the tide. That opening goal, as we mentioned, really swung the flag in their direction. They followed it up with another one a few minutes later. And it was about 6-7 minutes where Farmingdale were really running things. And then Stony Brook able to capitalize. They drew a penalty, weren't able to capitalize with a power play goal, but that led to them being able to gain some momentum. They got one on the board to make this a 2-1 hockey game. And, I mean, 20 minutes of hockey, I'd say this game has fit the bill of what we were all expecting beforehand.
I think there's one thing to ponder on it for Stony Brook. How do you get a handle of Barron? How do you find the way to adapt and get the best of him and get more chances going your way?
I'll tell you right now, it's tough with Barron. You look at him and it's like, this guy's barely standing over the crossbar right now. He's 5'0". You see him in warm-ups and, you know, you're like, oh, I'm going to pick the corner on this guy all day long. It's not that easy. He's probably, arguably, one of the most athletic goalies in ACHA, no matter what division, 1, 2, 3, wherever you look. He's going to be one of the most athletic guys you see. Getting him moving post to post, it's not that simple. The way you're going to beat him is the way the Seawolves beat him on their goal. You got to have traffic. You got to be in his eyes. You have to have layers. You can't just expect one screen to be enough, as we saw it at the end. He fought through a couple bodies to make that glove save. You got to make sure you got layers of screens and you're making life difficult for Andrew Barron.
Well, if there's one thing for the Seawolves, they have plenty of artillery on their hands to change the narrative and best Barron down the road, as we got 20 more minutes of hockey coming around the corner. Right now, 13-minute break for you, ladies and gentlemen. So get a quick snack, drink, whatever you desire, and we'll be back for the second period of hockey right here on LI Sports Network.
At Stony Brook Medicine, our gastroenterologists perform a groundbreaking procedure that restores the ability to eat, so Kevin can enjoy dining out again. Our kidney transplant team has one of the fastest transplant rates in the nation, so Pat can spend time doing what she loves. Our skilled surgeons perform robotic-assisted surgery for colon cancer, so Chris can get back to reeling them in sooner. Leading the way to make your life stronger. We are Stony Brook Medicine. All we do is all for you. At Stony Brook Medicine, our gastroenterologists perform a groundbreaking procedure that restores the ability to eat so Kevin can enjoy dining out again. Our kidney transplant team has one of the fastest transplant rates in the nation, so Pat can spend time doing what she loves. Our skilled surgeons perform robotic-assisted surgery for colon cancer, so Chris can get back to reeling them in sooner. Leading the way to make your life stronger, we are Stony Brook Medicine. All we do is all for you.
And we welcome you back to the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. Second period almost underway as the officials make their way onto the ice first to get things situated. To recap and summarize the first period, it was 2-0 Farmingdale with goals provided by Thomas Ivers and Dylan Bridgewood on the power play. Bridgewood, his 7th of the year. And for the Seawolves, finally cashing in was Kyle Nestepny. And now the only thing we have to wonder is, what's next? What is next? You see some brilliant goaltending so far by Andrew Barron. And both of these teams each having power plays under their belts. Farmingdale already 1-for-1 as the Seawolves return to the ice, led by Stephen Reginato, and the Rams will do the same as well.
Well, knowing both of these coaches as well as I'm fortunate enough to know them, I'm sure the message for the Rams was keep doing what you're doing, but let's try to push down on the gas pedal a little bit more. On the other side for the Seawolves, knowing Coach Garrow, I'm sure that he went into the room and said, this is not the way that we can play and we really need to step it up.
For Farmingdale, it's pretty much everything for them. You're trying to make a name for yourselves and for future matchups to come. And if they continue to play like how you alluded to, how they are right now, the possibilities are endless for this team when they make the jump to D1 next season. Whereas Stony Brook are aiming to avoid more of these challenges that have got the best of them. And as you talked about at the top of the broadcast, hasn't been a smooth ride for the Seawolves. Took a couple of losses, both to Syracuse, one on the road to Pittsburgh, and here they are back on the ice trying to rectify those wrongs and turn a page in the book and get themselves ramped up for the second half, because the next time the Seawolves will be on this home ice will be January 9th, and that will just mean there's less than 2 months until the playoffs. So really, things get very interesting, and it's go time again. 20 more minutes of hockey to be played here, and the Rams trying to offer their aggression early as that goes out of play.
Yeah, like I said at the opening faceoff in the first, this is the last game of the first semester for both of these teams. You want to go out on a high note, an exclamation point to end the first half of your season. And we keep talking about it, this brewing into a rivalry game. No better way to end your first semester than picking up the first win in this new rivalry.
That chance misses wide, and I can't think of a bigger exclamation point than for Farmingdale than a win over Stony Brook. Regardless of this being an exhibition, it would be a message sender, as this chance got blocked there off a stick in front by Kravitz, and another opportunity missing wide off the stick of Haskins. Dropped along the wall, but given up and skated forward by the Rams. Prodell. Now Labos surrendered it back over to O'Donnell. Tried to give it over, and it's punched forward instead by the Rams. Back into the hands of Stony Brook. Haskins. Now Wenrick. Got it forward. Malik connecting there with Mara. Mara backpedaling and stick handling simultaneously there as Labos finished against his man. Nothing done much there for the Seawolves. Malik trying to break through the neutral zone. And now Stony Brook almost getting one there, but offside's called.
Yeah, Farmingdale got lucky there. Is almost a costly turnover. If that offside didn't get called, walking right to the net would have been Paulie DeSaro.
And DeSaro, we know he has the propensity to back things up, especially with that speed and tenacity he brings to the table for the Seawolves. And speaking of speed and tenacity, the Rams, they have their fair share of players who bring that as well, as Bridgewood couldn't do much there as it was intercepted by Nestepny. Bridgewood offering aggression against him. Meanwhile, here's Valenti getting it over to Malik. Malik, Valenti connecting. DeZaro working in a phone booth as now the Seawolves are trying to set things up here in the zone. Cormanic escaping, got it across one-timer, blasted, score! Was it the former Farmingdale Ram Teddy Valenti, or did it get deflected in front by Christian Malik? All signs point to number 11, but we'll take a look at the replay. It is tied at 2.
Came right off Malik's right skate in front. Great pass over, back essentially against the boards there, and nobody picking up on the back post. Everybody puck watching for Farmingdale. And we're tied up at 2 early on. I was just about to say that it looked eerily similar to how we started the game. Stony Brook, right off the opening face-off of the period, getting in the mix, putting Farmingdale on the back foot. And this time around, it leads to a goal for him.
And Christian Malik collecting his 7th of the year. And Anthony Bernillo, there's more, offering more trouble for the Farmingdale Rams as his speed comes into the mix once again. Anastasio keeping it alive, got it across. Bernillo delays, fires, blocked in front, rebound, just missing on the second attempt was Anastasio that time.
Put it straight through the blue paint, had a wide open net. Unlucky to not bury there.
Poirier couldn't, or pardon me, one of the Rams who took a tumble couldn't bury Poirier as Ivers tries to hunt it away from Kowalski. Kowalski leads it forward. Vernillo, long range feed across. Anastasio plays it off the boards but couldn't keep it in the zone.
I think Quigley got a piece of it as he was coming back.
Quigley off to the bench. Meanwhile, the Rams pushed it back over in, but going for icing instead.
And that's unforced right there. Thomas Smith had all day in the world to make that pass. He's got to hit Del Grasso on the tape at the red line. Stony Brook, they got to take advantage right here. Farmingdale just gave him a gift of an offensive zone face-off when we could still be playing hockey right now. The clock could still be moving.
William Formanek trying to offer a reward here for the Seawolves, as Barron got a piece of that as well. Malik racing back as Haskins now controls it. Dumps it off the boards. Couldn't make its way through the neutral zone. Cormanic has to pull back and try to stop his man as Malik and DeZaro connect. DeZaro driving hard to the goal. Couldn't finish strong on the forehand as he was knocked down in front. Another chance. Malik keeping it under his control. Swings it over to the near man. DeZaro couldn't connect there with Malik. And now the Rams able to force it back in the zone. They'll get a line change out of it. A lot of reinforcements into the mix for the Rams. And that line change paying off dividends as they'll get a face-off draw coming up in Stony Brook zone after the icing by the Seawolves.
And same thing we just saw on that last Farmingdale icing for Stony Brook there. Farmingdale's making the line change. You got to make sure you connect on the pass. You can't take an icing in that situation.
Big opportunity potentially here for the Rams to get back on the right foot. Instead, it's Stony Brook prevailing. Gorzalanek leading it forward, couldn't get it further past the neutral zone, and now it'll get dumped in. Kravitz playing over to the far man. This one gets bounced around in the zone. Now the Rams having some momentum, but Stony Brook quickly navigating back in the zone. Gorzalanek lost it there to Duffy. Back the other way. For center, Lombardo led it forward but couldn't connect with his intended target, Crodell, as we get a whistle blown.
Yeah, Duffy didn't hear him yelling, delayed offside.
There's Teddy Valenti back in the picture after collecting a point on the goal by Malik. As this one got intercepted there. Smith. Legret. Sends it across, took a ride off one of the pads in front of one of the Rams players, I believe. Meanwhile, Stony Brook keeping the pressure on Farmingdale in their zone. A lot of quick feeds all around. Chance from the top, blocked there. Legret gets another opportunity, missing wide on the turnaround shot. Farmingdale looking to exit the zone cleanly. It will get backhanded out of harm's way. Rams able to press on the gas further, offering more pressure against the Seawolves. Ridgewood, long-range feed in front, and the slapper missed wide.
What a bullet from Nolte, sneaking through the seam right there. Everybody on Stony Brook was caught puck watching.
That was a beautiful feed by Ridgewood. That could have led to the third goal for the Rams. Instead, it's Stony Brook bringing more pressure against Farmingdale. Interception in front, and the high-rising shot missing for Mara.
Keller saved the day there, got his stick in the lane, puck ramped up it, went out of play. Catch it right here. That's right, that's a great opportunity right in the middle of the house. Earlier on, I'd like, instead of seeing Hyde do that spin pass, I want to see him tuck the shoulder, keep driving the net there.
We get a redo here on the draw. We saw Joe Quigley get an extra burst of speed there, but not before the whistle was blown. Second try. This time, Stony Brook prevailing. Chance in front, nearly deflected on by Huevos. The Rams putting more pressure on the Seawolves, but Stony Brook mitigating that pressure courtesy of Poirier. Poirier working hard in the zone. Now Kowalski takes over. Here come the Seawolves. Mara feeds it in front. Huevos couldn't finish the job that time.
Oh, so close.
And it gets an icing out of the Rams there.
Great opportunity. We'll take another look here. Clean breakout, nice saucer pass across. Friendly bounce at the end. I don't think Labos got all of it as much as he wanted. He was trying to go backhand, forehand. It ended up being just a redirection on net that Barron read.
So the Stony Brook Seawolves showing more than what they had in the first here in the second period. All thanks to that tying goal provided by Malik has really turned the energy up for the Seawolves. The Rams trying to find their footing once again as Anastasio plays it across. Poirier couldn't connect there with DiNapoli. And now Anastasio will get another stab at it. Bernillo switching gears. Anthony Bernillo fires, missing wide. Hot off the bench coming into the action was one of the Seawolves. And almost a breakaway there for Del Grasso.
Both these teams really got to do a better job of making cleaner passes. Couple of situations in a row going both ways, no pressure on, and we're missing 5 to 10 foot passes. Got to clean it up if you're the Rams and the Seawolves.
Regalado cleans that one up in the glove off the shot by Alessi, and it's definitely something you have to be cognizant about going forward. Want to make the right passes, make the right connections so that you avoid those mistakes that could really impact the way your team is performing. And here is DeZaro taking over once again. He's taking on 4 Rams practically that time, and he was able to keep the possession in the zone somehow. DeZaro. Now Cormatic firing, point-blank range, smothered in the glove of Barron.
Yeah, Barron had the angle right there, walking out of the corner. It's been a strong second period so far for Stony Brook. They're buzzing, trying to get their first lead of the night. Andrew Barron and the Rams doing enough defensively right now. They got to find a way to turn the tide back the other side of the rink.
Even all around in all departments. Shots 17 apiece, score tied up at 2. One of these teams will break the deadlock score. The only question will be who that will be, who that team is, as Wenrick dumped as the check was finished off by Duffy that time, but offsides was called beforehand.
And that was another thing that I've kind of been wondering if we were going to see this increase, is the physicality between these two sides as the game continues to progress on, and especially if it continues to be a tie game and remains tight.
Well, that's the thing with Stony Brook. As I talked about at the top, back in the first period, I had a feeling it was going to be more of, especially coming out of the break. Here's a chance in front! Double denials there by Regalado.
Big time save for Regalado.
And now the Seawolves will try to provide the answer on that save that time by the heroic goaltender. It's DeZaro creating some energy in the zone, but the Rams mitigating that. And now Duffy back in the mix. The Rams back on the defense. Lead feed forward. DeZaro couldn't punch it home. And now we got a battle along the side of the net. Cormatic twisted it back to the point. Chance from the top. Blocked there by Barron. Hyde twirling along the wall as Cormatic gets physical in the zone. As this will get cleared out. Not past Valenti. And here is Teddy Valenti with Hyde. With a chance denied by Barron. Another opportunity, second try, hit the outside of the cage. Another opportunity put out in front, and a glorious stop by Barron.
Beautiful save indeed. And again, Farmingdale gotta stop changing when the puck is in their end. You don't have it deep, don't go to the bench.
And despite the miscues by Farmingdale, as you point out, Andrew Barron has been automatic in net here tonight. The Seawolves have found a way to beat him twice so far. But in this latest shift, he is offering quite the challenge. Chance, Poirier! And Barron said no again, or was that blocked by Bridgewood?
Punched out by Barron. Another big save, Barron on Hyde there.
The clap bomb wouldn't go for 88. Another wrister missing wide. Rebound, second try wouldn't go.
Seawolves are humming right now.
Labos back in front. That one took a bounce off Barron once again. Orzelonic. Chance! Out of nowhere came Cooper Smith, and now we get a whistle blown. And before things really started to ramp up, and I'm sure we're going to get a replay that you'll dissect, and I want you to dissect this first before I finish the point I was going to make beforehand.
First there, that was a phenomenal look. Great post-to-post stop for Regalado. Barron, one save. You see the puck tied up on the side of the net. Back in come the Seawolves here. Great work on the 3-on-2. Good snapper from Robert Hyde, punched away by Barron, and just a phenomenal shift. The Farmingdale Rams needed that whistle desperately.
Chance in front. Multiple players trying to poke it home. As Gorzalanek mixes it up in the scrum there. And now, the point I was going to add was back in the first period, I mentioned that for Stony Brook, it's not, for them, they've been a team, something I usually see for them, especially when they come off a long break. In this case, they haven't played a home game 2 weeks, coming off from a road trip, and they're going up against a team they haven't played before. And it's usually a feeling out phase for them. So I had a good idea that, okay, there's not going to be a lot of this animosity right out of the gates, but we're starting to see some of that play into effect. And I think it was bound to happen at some point, especially coming into this matchup. You talked about it. It was the biggest game on the schedule for the Rams. A lot of anticipation for it because of it being a preview for what's to come starting next season.
And again, I don't think this game has disappointed at all. I think both teams have had their lapses throughout the course of this one. Both teams have had some high positive moments.
Now the Rams seem like they have things figured out, and they'll get a power play out of that hit thrown by Poirier.
Yeah, I think that one was just a little bit too late after the puck got past him. It was close, and as a defenseman, you're taught to make that play after the puck gets thrown in behind, but it's all about timing, and the timing wasn't right here for Poirier. Obviously, it slowed down a little bit, but 1-2, almost at 3 there, probably at least two Mississippis when he's making contact with Del Grosso. So, official puts the arm up. Farmingdale gonna get the power play chance here. They're 100% tonight. It would mean a lot for sure if they could capitalize, especially with how the last few minutes have gone.
So Poirier will look on from the sin bin as Farmingdale begins their second journey on the power play. 1-for-1 tonight on the goal by Bridgewood. Score! No! It was waved off and play continues. I don't know if Steven Regalado made some miraculous save or what happened. He makes another one and another one. And now we get a little bit of extra stuff after the whistle.
Desperation from Regalado right there. Official was right on top of it for the first one. That was a great look from the back door out front. As we're going to see here, it was Ivers driving in. Slides it across to Joe LaChase, the captain. I'm not sure who the defender is there that got a piece of it. LaChase put the hands up, celebrating. He thought he had the goal. Alessi gloves it to keep it in. Another chance brewing right here. And Regalado makes the stop.
What an unbelievable sequence to start off this power play opportunity. The latest one for Farmingdale.
And just 23 seconds off of it there, so shows you they went to work quickly. No hesitation in trying to get pucks to the net.
One gets wheeled to the far end, and this will be led forward by Labos. Short-handed, missing over the net. Labos now doing his part, just killing off some clock here against the Rams. Farmingdale resetting with a burst of speed. Here come the Rams. Trying to work some magic in front. That one got blocked, twisted on, but couldn't be played out in front. Got cleared away by the Seawolves.
Good job through this first minute for Stony Brook. Weathered the storm early and now able to send the puck out a few times.
Frank Alessi coughed it up there. A lot of trouble in the zone that time. But now the Rams seem like they have it figured out. And chance! Another save made by Regalado.
I'm not sure he was expecting the shot to come in that quick because He didn't even move. Just let the puck hit him there. Seawolves clear at 200 feet again.
Calling a line change allows Duffy to gain the zone with a chance. Score! A ripper! And the Rams lead 3-2. Perfect on the power play.
Bottle popper for Tim Duffy. And let's be honest, the first 23 seconds were successful. The last minute was not. They cut in here on the rush. And if it wasn't for Pat Nolte stopping dead on top of the blue paint to create that screen, it was a perfect screen. And Duffy's shot beats Reganado. I don't think he ever saw that puck thanks to Pat Nolte.
It's that Smithtown hockey IQ coming from Nolte that allows Duffy to grab a hold of the go-ahead goal to put Farmingdale back in front.
That's a big goal for the Rams, and they stay 100% on the power play here tonight.
Drive from the top, blocked there. As Stony Brook tries to get even once again with the Rams.
They've had a strong second period, these Seawolves. I'm expecting a lot of jump, and they've shown it already on this shift.
There's a man that's been trying to get a jump in all areas. It was DeNapoli's. We had a penalty coming Farmingdale's way.
Yeah, Minio's going to the box right now.
Cross-checking for 2 minutes, and this will give Stony Brook a big opportunity to even the score once again.
And if you're the Seawolves, like you just said, you recognize this is a big opportunity to respond quick. As I said before we went to break, it's going to be imperative now with the man advantage. You got to create traffic in front of Andrew Barron.
The Seawolves armed and ready. Off the draw. The second Stony Brook Orthopedic Associates power play. Underway here with 6.5 remaining in the second. Seawolves score. It is tied again.
As I was just saying, traffic in front of the net. Quick puck movement up at the point. A good wrist shot redirected in by Cormanic. And we're tied up at 3. Great quick response from Stony Brook. The scissor play at the blue. Just a rolling shot from Paulie DeSaro. And Cormanic there on that back post. Got wood on it. Tied all.
The captain answers the call, and Nostradamus with a great call, I must say. Hear it from the booth.
I've been around this game for a long time, unfortunately. Not unfortunate, I love it.
I was going to say, why unfortunately? You've had some great moments on the ice in your hockey playing days.
I've been coming to this rink for almost 30 years now.
Chance in front. Farmingdale trying to answer with their very own deflecting attempt that time.
Yeah, can't leave Duffy alone in front like that.
Alessi delays. Firing through a screen in front. It bounced off the glove of Reganado.
Yeah, with 20 feet in the air, ended up behind the net. But I think everybody lost sight of that one except for us.
Poirier controlling. Here is Poirier pressing up ahead. Poirier going on a journey, delivering it back. It takes a kick off his leg there, giving Farmingdale a chance to put more pressure on the Seawolves. Back and forth we go. Shots even apiece again.
Smart play by the netminder to come out and lead that breakout.
Mara putting on the brakes, almost surrendering it to the Rams, but luckily Poirier back to collect. Able to connect forward. Malik with a little pump fake there, leading to a chance to Zero, floating it over the net. Cormanic back in the mix.
A lot of heat on that wrister.
Stony Brook keeping the possession in the zone. They are wheeling and dealing now. Cormanic fires, blocked in front. Play continues. I'm sure we're gonna get a whistle. And there it is.
Yeah, Rams were gonna do everything to not touch that puck, force Malik And Ivers noticed that. Everybody was just watching the puck. He was hoping one of his defensemen noticed him springing to the far blue line and would just quickly snap a pass to him for a breakaway while everyone else was snoozing. But that's not how it played out. Malik just swapped it to the boards, and they'll take the whistle. Face-off will come outside.
Conference amongst the men in stripes. We got Trevor Magnani here with us in the booth, channeling his inner Mike Pereira. Score! Paul Tesaro! 4-3 Seawolves.
We've seen that wrist shot a couple of times tonight, and looking back, maybe the defense should have sprung Ivers on the far blue. They don't touch the puck on the hand pass on Stony Brook. Face-off stays inside. Seawolves win it. Tesaro snipes it home.
A beautiful shot. That's the second bottle popper of the night. One for the Rams, Duffy, one for the Seawolves, Tesaro, and back to the point goes Stony Brook.
That's just a great shot off the face-off right there.
Cooper Smith got aggressive there in front with McGregor. Meanwhile, it's LeGret now. Trying to put things back in motion. The Seawolves have the momentum on their side once again. Gorzalonic getting physical along the wall. LeGret pinching in over. Lost it there to the Rams. Big check thrown on O'Donnell by LeGret. But Farmingdale gets a chance that got blocked there by Reganado. Gorzalonic able to shovel it up ahead. Cooper Smith with the check there, leading to Gorzalonic pushing forward. Gorzalonic pressured. Now Cooper Smith in some difficulty as he took a shot there along the glass. Haskins spikes it back the other way. This will give Stony Brook a line change. LeGret still offering pressure in the zone. Hyde coming back in the mix. Farmingdale awaiting for the answer. Crodell didn't let off the gas, resulting in a car crash in the end boards. The physicality beginning to escalate little by little as Hyde couldn't find the possession in time before he got spiked back the other way. Once again, a misconnection there. No icing. Hyde belts his man against the boards. Down in front, Labos couldn't finish the job. Traffic building up once again. Stony Brook has gotten the best of those type of sequences. Another chance, bouncing around. Labos as Barron was sprawling to the ice.
There's a huge block from Alessi.
Mara deals it back. Haskins over to Hyde. Hyde through the wickets, blocked there by Barron. Wenrick stashes it along the wall. Now Mara continues to control. Mara dangling, dancing. Mara couldn't finish that time before he got cleared away for icing by the Rams.
Frank Alessi just saved a goal right there, diving down to block that shot.
He certainly did.
Great skill from Mara walking out. As we're going to take another look here, as Barron fights that one off. And here's Mara just dancing through, and that's all Frank Alessi getting in that lane. Just great job from the Farmingdale D-man.
One could say it's that long time experience playing on this ice by Frank Alessi, the former East Islip chief. He's always had the great propensity of that. And there's another opportunity there in front for the Seawolves. 2 misfires, but they continue to put pressure on the Rams in the zone.
I love the energy coming from Stony Brook right now.
Poirier delays, got it over. Kowalski shakes away from his man, deals it back to the point. Desaro. Here is Malik. Desaro down low. Desaro, layman, missing wide. Kowalski. Poirier with a great keep at the point. Stashes it forward. Couldn't find the stick of Cormatic, who has to search for it himself. Desaro in front. A wicked shot from point-blank range, swallowed up by Barron.
Farmingdale needed that whistle. They just looked lost for the last 2 minutes.
Shots 30 to 24, Stony Brook. An absolute barn burner here at the rinks. And this game really took a different change in direction after how the first period transpired. We reached the final minute of play in the second. 39 minutes of hockey played so far, as the Rams not giving up without a fight. Can they stuff it home? No, they cannot, as Stony Brook has trouble clearing the zone. Heavy collision, and it broke the stick of one of the Rams, or was that one of the Seawolves, as Anastasio back in the mix, got it to DiNapoli, leads it in front. What a play there! And a massive collision to cap off the sequence. And now we get more rough stuff after the goal. And that was another phenomenal defensive play there to prevent the scoring chance by Farmingdale's defense.
Late in this period, and
Anastasio set up the play beautifully, and it looked like DiNapoli had broad daylight to add another one to the board, but a great diving stick play was made by the Rams defense. 24 seconds left on the clock here in the second. Haskins couldn't step into one there. Hyde throws it aggressively off the wall, giving Mara a chase to hunt it. Hyde back in the mix, deals it back to the point. One-timer blocked. 6.1 to go. So that one went out of play. Everyone's set to the left of, or to the right of Barron. The Rams running out of time to get one last chance. Not the best opportunity there, as the buzzer sounds and we leave the seconds with Stony Brook leading 4-3 in an exhilarating change of pace and plenty of goals from both teams.
yeah, Stony Brook started out hot this second period, just like they did in the first. We had to look at that opening goal that made it 2-2.
That was Malik cashing in after Valenti pulled the trigger, and then you see Farmingdale with the answer.
That one pulled off the line right there, as Regnato made a big save, made another one following at the end of this sequence as it got caught up under his pad. And Regnato made multiple big-time saves in that period. I think we could still be tied, really. Regnato played awesome in that middle frame, and I said it at the beginning of the second period, what I predicted, what I thought the messages from both coaching staffs were. Farmingdale needing to put the foot on the gas a little bit. Stony Brook, this is not our team, we can play better. I think the coaches are going to reverse those messages during this intermission, where Coach Mazey's going to step into the Rams locker room right now and say, we need to wake up. That was a really bad period. We need to play the way we did in the first. And I think Coach Garrow's going to go in and say, now that is Stony Brook hockey. We need to do that in the third to secure this win.
So for Stony Brook, it's gonna be sticking to what they know best. Farmingdale I'm going to use something that you've pointed out numerous times. They got to have the crisp, clean passes going their way. The breakouts have to be anything but perfect for them to get back in this matchup.
Yeah, look, I don't think either side has been perfect in this game, and that's the thing. Both sides have left each other room for opportunity. First period, I think we saw Stony Brook were giving Farmingdale more chances. That period, Stony Brook certainly outweighed Farmingdale in the chances. Both sides got to clean it up a little bit. We got to see crisper passes. You got to be hitting tape to tape. You can't be falling asleep in defensive zone puck watching. We're seeing guys get open on the back door a lot. Again, we're having minutes for both teams where they're playing really good hockey. We're having minutes where it's getting a little sloppy. Second period, strong for the Seawolves, not as strong for the Rams. The roles reversed after the first 20. This final 20, whoever plays the cleaner game of hockey is going to come away with the win. It's as simple as that. Stony Brook has the lead right now. Obviously, that gives them the advantage. If Farmingdale is able to tie it up early, this game could go either way. If Stony Brook comes out with the jump that they've come out with to begin each period and they can maintain that pace, it's going to be difficult for the Farmingdale Rams to come back.
We'll just have to see and wait for what's to come, as while the two teams will avoid any damage against them, try to clean things up. They'll clean up the ice here because we got more hockey coming our way. 10-minute break first, and then the third period of action right here on LI Sports Network.
At Stony Brook Medicine, our gastroenterologists perform a groundbreaking procedure that restores the ability to eat, so Kevin can enjoy dining out again. Our kidney transplant team has one of the fastest transplant rates in the nation, so Pat can spend time doing what she loves. Our skilled surgeons perform robotic-assisted surgery for colon cancer, so Chris can get back to reeling them in sooner. Leading the way to make your life stronger, we are Stony Brook Medicine. All we do is all for you. At Stony Brook Medicine, our gastroenterologists perform a groundbreaking procedure that restores the ability to eat, so Kevin can enjoy dining out again. Our kidney transplant team has one of the fastest transplant rates in the nation, so Pat can spend time doing what she loves. Our skilled surgeons perform robotic-assisted surgery for colon cancer, so Chris can get back to reeling them in sooner. Leading the way to make your life stronger. We are Stony Brook Medicine. All we do is all for you.
And we welcome you back to the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Calandra, Trevor Magnani to the right of me, Travis Quigley making his way back up. What a period. What a barn burner of a hockey game we got going on for you right now. Left the first period up 2-1 for Farmingdale, and now the tide has been turned with Stony Brook leading 4-3.
Yeah, it's been quite the game here for the Seawolves. One period, it looks like everything's fallen off the bandwagon, and I'm getting scheduled to come to practice to run sprints. And the second period, Stony Brook got the engine running on all cylinders, and the shots on goal and the goals on the scoreboard tell the entire tale of the period.
You mentioned something that I thought was very interesting. Farmingdale, the way they performed in the second period, you said it best. It just seemed like they just ran out of gas, or just I
don't know if it was necessarily running out of gas, but Stony Brook definitely was more performant in the second period and playing the game that they were trying to play. As Travis said, Stony Brook's message coming out of the first period was, we got to play the game we got to play. And speaking of Travis, we'll welcome back into the booth here as we get ready for the third period of play.
Yeah, sorry for the late arrival. Ran into a former teammate, a good friend of mine, Coach Brandon Perrone.
No way.
Had a nice conversation with BP out in the lobby as he's here taking in the festivities of tonight, the Seawolves versus the Rams.
Well, when this one is over, I'm going to have to try to see if I can catch up and say hi to him. We go way back too, grade school. Third period underway. And Stony Brook. Through the neutral zone they go. Hyde aiming high there. Hyde plays it in front. But not able to finish the job in front was Labos, who tried to twist it over, connecting onto Hyde. Here's Labos. Feeds it in front, banked it off the pad of Barron, and now Wenrick sending it back in. Kravitz to the bench.
Stony Brook's been consistent all three periods, starting with a lot of hop.
Here's Hyde in front. He was on the hop there, but misfired on that chance. Valenti, what a big drive, missing. Does the part to just get more pressure on the Rams as Farmingdale tries to get some energy going on their side. Seemed like things were going their way after they left the first up 2-1, and then now you see where it stands right now. DeSaro! Take a bow.
That's a beautiful drop pass from Malik. DeSaro doubles up his tally tonight. Wide open net to put that one home.
5-3, Stony Brook. Paul with a pair of goals, and it's not unusual for him to find himself in that department, in that.
And again, you see on that replay,
area.
On the initial attack, trying to split through the D, one defender for the Rams gets dragged out of the play. And if we can just stop it right here, 4 Rams all watching the puck. DeSaro slips in, gets a clean drop pass, and he could have pulled it onto the backhand and put it home if he wanted to. He had all day in the world.
And they may have another chance here. Not this time, says Barron with the glove hand.
And again, good, quick start from the Seawolves. They have so much jump coming out of the locker room. And Farmingdale just had no response on that opening shift. And again, right off the draw. You give up a 2-on-1 chance. Vernillo almost makes it a 3-goal game.
Farmingdale trying to find the identity that they had in the first. They played to their strengths, and here they come. That one fought off by Reganado. Here is Stony, trekking back into familiar territory. Vernillo beats it across. The job couldn't be finished in front. Head-high shot missing everyone there by Stony, as Farmingdale able to push through that, but surrendering it to Stony Brook. 2 minutes gone by here in the third. Chance in front, score! Guess who? Thomas Ivers, number 2.
That's a big-time goal for Farmingdale. They needed a quick response desperately, and they get it. Great forecheck applied by Gavin Del Grasso. Beautiful saucer pass, and Ivers settles it down, puts it home. 5-4 game. That's what the Rams needed. I still expect the Seawolves to come with a lot of pace here.
A multi-point game for Thomas Ivers. And the score back to a 1-goal deficit. Stony Brook trying to answer the call quickly before things unravel for them once again. Korzalonic couldn't feed it in front. Rushing over to keep it in the zone. Smith got it back to Wenrick. Wenrick towing the blue line. Got it back down low. Stashed onto the stick of Korzalonic. Korzalonic controlling. Deals it back down low to Cooper Smith. Smith delaying. Smith lost an edge and lost the possession in the process. But Farmingdale had trouble pushing forward, and it allows Smith to get back in the zone quickly. And once again, we're getting a penalty against Stony Brook.
Yeah, Mara was way too early jumping on the ice there. And even Coach Garrow, you can see him on the bench right now. He's like, what are we doing there? Well, come on. Unforced error right there for the Seawolves, as they're now going to go down a man after having 6 on the ice during that sequence.
If you're Stony Brook, this is the last thing you want to do, is give Farmingdale another power play opportunity. They are 2 for 2 tonight, and it's been status quo for them in that department.
You said it, 32% coming into the game. NHL average, you're looking at around 20, 21. If you're lucky, those are the high-end power plays. So certainly the Rams well above average in the ACHA.
And that's ACHA Division 2. This is them playing against ACHA Division 1, which even makes that statistic even more incredible. Chance through a screen, swallowed up in the glove of Reganado. Bridgewood in front.
I think a game like this, a scoreline like this, it really goes to show you there's not much of a difference between some of these teams at M1 and M2. It's just a title. Some of these teams, even M2, maybe even M3, they can rise up and play teams that are considered above their level, and it's a competitive hockey game.
Very well said, as Stony Brook trying to do everything they can to prevent Farmingdale from cashing in on what would be a crucial equalizer here if we're to go on the power play. As LaChase sends it in deep. Alessi hunting it over. Bridgewood couldn't feed it in front cleanly. LaChase guarded heavily, and Haskins tripped up, but no call. Instead, he floats it out safely for a big clear. The Rams cycling quickly. 40 seconds remaining on the power play for Farmingdale, the third of the night. They've scored twice so far on the man advantage. Half a minute to go now, as that goes for, luck out. Cormanic.
Big bounce off the boards there.
Can never trust these boards here at the rinks. And here comes Lombardo. Couldn't stash it in front. And it leads to another clear. This time, Barron stays put in the net. Not going to take any chances with those boards behind him.
Seawolves kill off the penalty. That's strong there from them.
Duffy, long-range dart caught in the glove hand of Regalado.
Excellent penalty kill there from the Stony Brook Seawolves, maintaining this 1-goal advantage. A little over 5 gone in the third period, and shots are pretty even. Just 1 goal separating these two teams. It's been a phenomenal game here at the rinks tonight.
Here's O'Donnell looking to win it back. Instead, Stony Brook powering through off the draw. Here comes Peter Labos with an extra step. Labos, save, rebound. Double denials there by Barron, and we get a whistle. And is this another power play coming for Farmingdale? You bet.
Yeah, McGregor got the stick knocked out of the hands. I think Labos is trying to argue and say he should have had a tighter grip on it. But the official put the arm up, made the call. It's tough to have him bring it back. You don't see that ever happen. As I think we'll get a look right at the end here. Great stop from Barron. And then, yeah, McGregor's reaching for the puck, and stick goes flying through the air. 2-minute penalty.
And just when you thought Stony Brook was going to escape the clutches of Farmingdale's power play units, here they come again. 4th power play of the night for the Rams.
And Stony Brook did a great job last time out. Got to roll it over.
What a play there as Regalado read the deflection in front perfectly. Keller back in the zone, avoids the check there. Bridgewood on the attack. Ivers to the far side. Here's the captain, pressured there that time. OSC in front, backdoor, still loose, score! Chase! Power play goal number 3 for the Rams. And we're tied at 5.
Like you said, it was the captain who started it out in the corner, Joe LaChase. He pops into the slot and finds the puck sitting free just outside the blue paint. A lot of traffic in front of the net. We're tied up at 5. Official right on top of it. Didn't think there was goalie interference on the play. Tough to call it there. A lot of contact. Five all.
Back-to-back unanswered goals for the Rams. Here in this third period. The second by Ivers, the latest one by LaChase. Tied at 5. All hands on deck. Rest assured there will be a winner here tonight. The only question will be who that is. Farmingdale finding the momentum they had in the first. Once again, this time in the third.
Definitely way more jump following those goals than they started this third period with.
Kowalski's having a hard time getting to the bench. Sorry to cut you off there. That's something you don't want to see if you're Stony Brook. You don't want to lose one of your perennial defensemen, a big shot blocker, and that time he was entangled. One of the Rams, he is attended to on the bench. Meanwhile, on the ice, a stick lays idle in the zone. Meanwhile, we get a whistle, and are we going to get a penalty against Farmingdale now? I think so.
We got the whistle. I think the officials are coming together to talk about it now.
Or is this just... okay. Alrighty.
Official might be saying right now, my bad. Premature whistle, and we're just going to put the face-off inside.
The way the bench was reacting on Farmingdale, one could assume a power play was coming for Stony Brook, and they were unhappy with the ruling if that were the case. But We got our rules experts over to the right of us, Trevor Magnani, providing more clarity to the picture that you see as Stony Brook and Farmingdale deadlocked at 5 here in this third period on the islands. Mara fed it in front, but Labos wasn't there to receive the feed. Mara avoiding disaster along the wall. Farmingdale having trouble exiting the zone. Now they are able to clear out. But Stony Brook back in quickly. Labos trying to keep it under his control. Now Mara. Mara running into a challenge there as he looks for an option. Mara drops it over. Now it's played on the stick of Hyde. Here's Nestepny. Nestepny. A look there by Mara. Couldn't connect with Labos. Labos, a workhorse in the zone, bouncing off a few bodies, and now he is slow to get up. And here's Nestepny trekking back into familiar territory, leading the cavalry. Nestepny twists it across, no one home. He had Hyde moving in alongside of him. Wasn't in the right spot to receive the feed as Farmingdale will start from the back end. Cormatic on the ice. Here's Duffy with a burst of speed as Wenrick and DeZaro try to push back the other way. Farmingdale holding their own as Malik guards. Now you got 2 Seawolves on one of the Rams. Here is Kravitz. Touches one on, missing wide.
That might have been blocked by Malik last second.
Lombardo kept it in the zone. And Duffy lost an edge, leading to the the possession change. Stony Brook the advantage as they try to make something happen here during this latest shift. Valenti not letting that one go further than the neutral zone. As this one will find its way off the end board. Stony Brook playing that one off there. Valenti connecting with DiNapoli. DiNapoli coming into the mix, Vernillo. Watch out, he's got a head full of steam. Vernillo, traffic building up in front! Score! Matt Anastasio! And he chirps the bench.
I think the goal's going to count, but the officials are talking about it right now because it almost looked like the official was going to blow play dead for the net being off, and everyone kind of stopped. Not the Seawolves. You kind of see there, net came off. Our official went to go put the whistle to the lips. Instead, allows play to continue. Pass goes off back door, and Anastasio's got a wide open net to bury. And it's going to be called no goal. And you can see, if Trevor, you don't mind if we can run that back again, you can see our official, he did start to make the motion of blowing play dead. It's tough to see, he's in the back. His left arm goes up there, right up on his lips. He doesn't blow it, but because as this is my interpretation of the rule. Again, I don't know if I'm correct on this, but this has always been my interpretation. Because he makes the motion of going to stop the play.
The referee can stop the play with the intention to blow the whistle. But the referee very clearly has the intention and then the intention to not by moving his hand up then down. So if I was Stony Brook, I would be very angry with this call because it's a clear goal call on the ice. And if the call was, and the intention was to have the net off mooring be the call, it should have been the call should have been made at that time. But it wasn't, and there you have it.
Thomas Ivers trying to take advantage of it as a livid Chris Garofalo watches on from the bench. Chance in front, missing wide was Mara.
Great chance for Mara right there.
Labos bounces off what was that, McGregor? Bounced off McGregor as Hyde pinches over. Now Hyde deals it, far side, save.
Big save from Barron, the Rams needed that one.
O'Donnell, or no, that was Grasso, and he's in a heap of trouble. Down on the ice.
Yeah, he took a stick to the mouth, it looked like. He lost an edge, and it wasn't intentional. I want to absolutely preface that. It was not intentional. He was trying to whack the puck out of the air. I believe it was Weinrich, and he ended up catching Del Grasso there. Just an unfortunate sequence of events.
So Del Grasso will get attention on the bench. And a neutral zone faceoff draw coming up. DiNapoli against O'Donnell. Here is Anastasio. Looking to rectify the events that happened just before, in which the goal was canceled out due to the whistle being blown, or that was about to be blown by the official. And now here's Anastasio back in the mix with company. DiNapoli. Anastasio bounces off one of the, that was Kravitz, or now it's Vernillo in trouble. DiNapoli there to help out, does his parts, and he's able to scoot back to the point. DiNapoli controlling, lost it there. Farmingdale with the clear, couldn't get it further out of the neutral zone as DiNapoli gains the zone once again, avoids disaster. Stony Brook feeling the pressure from Farmingdale. Seemed like they stopped them momentarily with the goal by Anastasio. And now Farmingdale bringing all sorts of punishment towards the Seawolves' way. Chance in front, bouncing around behind the goal. As this gets played over to Ivers. Lombardo wheels one over the goal, off the glass. Play continues behind the nets, and now we get a stoppage and a little more than a whistle there. And Farmingdale got the momentum on their side. They are certainly packing a punch against the Seawolves. And they got LaChase on the ice, the captain, who captured the equalizer, is trying to be the man that scores the tie-breaking goal, potentially here. Or not before the puck is played back in Farmingdale's zone.
Great job by DeSaro to beat out that icing call.
Lead feet ahead, missing everyone in sight for the Rams, as Valenti able to recapture it, but surrenders it immediately to Farmingdale. Del Grasso back on the ice after taking that stick to the mouth. He's up and okay. Meanwhile, DeZaro coughs it up again. The Rams staying on top of the possession, hungry to get another goal going. There's DeZaro avoiding, eluding, plops it forward. Malik back in the mix. DeZaro feeds it in front. A scramble there. Farmingdale trying to clear the zone. Stony Brook, an admirable job at keeping the possession in Farmingdale's territory. Big check. DeZaro tried to deliver it, but he got the worst of it in that way right there. Huevos. He has Hyde streaking in as that chance missed wide. Wenrick plays it off the wall. Around it goes. Hyde trying to take over cleanly, but to no avail as Farmingdale is able to escape the zone once again. And here they come with another chance erupting. Lombardo in front. Great stick there by Wenrick. Nullifying the chance.
Lombardo didn't have a lane. Crodell and Duffy were in the same lane as each other. Nobody stayed back high.
Haskins floats it deep in the zone. Huevos giving chase once again. Hyde. Huevos. It kicks off the skate there of Mara and gives Farmingdale a chance to clear forward, but not before Hyde puts it right back in the zone. Alessi But a squibbler way out of the zone, given enough time for them to get a line change as Valenti plays it off the boards. Vernillo keeping the engine going for Stony Brook. Still a lot of tank left in the gas for 94.
Power play coming for Stony Brook here.
Crucial moments inbound for the Seawolves.
Going to be a high sticking call, as Anastasio got the stick up top. And I think it's Ivers headed to the box right now.
Power play number 3 coming up for the Seawolves. And we'll watch this again. You talked about it. The 2 players on the Rams bunching up together, preventing what could have been a 6-5 goal there.
Same lane. They're in a straight line with the puck carrier. Usually when you're in a straight line with the puck carrier, it leads to no passing lanes, and that's what we saw right there.
Stony Brook Orthopedic Associates power play number 3 for the Seawolves. Underway. DeZaro. Wenrick in tight. Couldn't put it home there. Malik. DeZaro plays it off the boards there. Cormatic keeping it under control, takes a rough hit along the wall as Malik got it back over to Wenrick. One-timer, Hyde. Missed wide there. DeZaro. The captain Cormatic. Wenrick controlling, delaying. Wenrick through a screen. Blocked there off the mask of Barron.
Great keep in.
Now they'll get the clear. Bridgewood doing his parts.
Yeah, unfortunate for Hyde right there, fanning on that pass. Rams are going to take that.
Watch out on the steal. Great IQ provided there that time by Lombardo.
And that was almost really dangerous because Reganado didn't recognize that the puck got taken away.
Stony Brook caught on their heels there, and Lombardo still creating havoc in the zone, not allowing Stony Brook to reset cleanly. And now they gain zone entry once again. Haskins working back in. Haskins held up against the boards there. Mara fakes the drop. Mara couldn't punch it home, and it leads to another clear for the Rams. 15 more seconds on the power play for Stony Brook.
Farmingdale had to weather the storm early on that power play.
Vernillo on the attack. Vernillo. Mara looking to charge up.
Back to 5-on-5.
Stony Brook 0 for 3 on the man advantage tonight. Backdoor Poirier wouldn't go. And Farmingdale bringing the energy back the other way. Del Grasso couldn't get a charge up that time.
Great back check from Anthony Vernillo.
Here's Vernillo. Long-range chance hit off a stick there by one of the Rams. Stepney tried to kick it forward to no avail. Farmingdale jumps on top of the opportunity. Pushing it deep in the zone. Now Del Grasso will hunt for it. O'Donnell putting pressure back on the Seawolves. Here comes DeZaro flying ahead. Put to a stop by the Rams. Stepney got it in front.
Barron didn't see that till the last possible second.
Almost the same spot where he scored back in the first, as Cormatic tried to plop it past the defense, and it gives Farmingdale a chance to put the pressure right back on Stony Brook as we embark on the 2-minute warning in this hockey game. We've seen some crazy finishes here on the island with Stony Brook, and a big block made there by Valenti.
Beautiful block.
Farmingdale trying to work something here. It's crunch time for the Rams and for the Seawolves. And Reganado swallows that opportunity up.
It's a good shot by Duffy. Kept it low, trying to generate a rebound. Better by Reganado, not giving up that rebound, keeping the puck tight to the body and getting the glove over it. 1:41 left in regulation. This place, I was going to say jumping, but everyone's still sitting down.
It's nervous energy that's filled up this facility, which is why no one is up and alive as of yet, as Hyde tries to lead it forward. A challenge there for Mara to get a hold of the possession. Mara still working hard in front. It bounces around. Hyde at the top. Haskins blocked. And Poirier has the race back against Lombardo. He's held up and he won that battle.
Great
in a big
hustle.
way.
Great hustle from the defenseman.
Charles Poirier. Hyde. Contact made. Labos couldn't get a hold of it cleanly. Now it's Mara. Twisted it up ahead of Hyde. Lost it there. Del Grasso in search of the possession. It's LaChance going offsides. Pardon me, LaChase.
LaChase just trying to hope that Del Grasso got back in over the blue in time. Did not. Offside called. 53 seconds left in regulation. 5-all between these two teams. It's been a stellar third period for both these squads.
37 shots on goal apiece. Stepney works out of the phone booth. Here's Labos. Labos tried to kick it forward to no avail. He smashes against his man against the boards. Valenti delays. Tried to send the screamer. Instead, it went up high. Things simmering down briefly, but it sure will ramp up in just a few moments.
It's been this way for the last few minutes, but now it's even more here in crunch time. You don't want to be the one to make the mistake. You want to be the one that gets to go to bed the hero tonight.
Another clear made. This one will not reach the end boards, or will it? It will not. Poirier has to cycle from all the way back there. He continues to move forward. Charles Poirier blocked away by Barron. Cormanic. Malik. We've seen buzzer beaters before here, but it does not appear that will happen in regulation. Offsides called.
Yeah, 1.9 left, so unless we get a Seawolves win and a quick shot on goal, I think we're going to be going overtime here.
Just based on where the face-off location is, that will be the case. Overtime hockey at the rinks. Farmingdale 5, Stony Brook 5 on LI Sports Network.
At Stony Brook Medicine, our gastroenterologists perform a groundbreaking procedure that restores the ability to eat, so Kevin can enjoy dining out again. Our kidney transplant team has one of the fastest transplant rates in the nation, so Pat can spend time doing what she loves. Our skilled surgeons perform robotic-assisted surgery for colon cancer, so Chris can get back to reeling them in sooner. Leading the way to make your life stronger. We are Stony Brook Medicine. All we do is all for you.
And we welcome you back to the broadcast. Overtime about to start in just a minute and so. And I want to put Travis Quigley on the spot here, because if you go way back to 2015, actually literally 10 years ago, you scored the overtime game-winning goal in Game 1 of the county finals in Suffolk County High School Hockey League play. So I want to get an idea of what's going on in the minds of these players.
At Stony Brook Medicine, our gastroenterologists perform a groundbreaking procedure that
what's going on in the minds of these players right now as they get ready to engage in such a heavy pressure atmosphere like overtime hockey?
Well, you can look at it, I'm sure every player on the ice right now is looking at it both ways. Team-wise, you want to get the win tonight. This has been such a fun hockey game. We've keep talking about it. A fresh new rivalry here on Long Island in college hockey in the ACHA. You want to get the win. Individually, I know every single guy has the thought in his mind, I can have a chance to be the hero tonight. I want to be the one to do it. This is going to be fun. Farmingdale went to overtime last week, picked up a win over the University of New Hampshire, 3-2. The only other game that went to overtime for them was against the University of Tampa. That ended as a tie and an eventual shootout loss. So just the third overtime game for the Rams this season.
Whereas Stony Brook, the last time they played overtime hockey, they fell to the Syracuse Orange. Looking to win one big here in the exhibition battle against the Farmingdale Rams as Haskins, Hyde, and Mara start for Stony Brook.
As we all know, possession is the name of the game here in OT.
Mara speeding in. Lorenzo Mara missed wide there. He has one overtime goal under his belt, go all the way back to opening night. And here come the Rams. Alessi save, Reganado. Lombardo nearly coughed it up in the neutral zone there to Hyde. The Rams. Chance. Glove save, Reganado.
Crodell at a straight lane from the high slot. Reganado. Key save with the glove there. Let's get another look. As Lombardo curled back, he was the last man. Hyde was all over him. If Hyde took the puck away, he could have been gone. Instead, Crodell with the chance. And you saw in that freeze frame, he had plenty of space to let it go. Just found the glove of Reganado.
They changed centerman on the draw. Room in front, blocked there, wrap around, missing for Bridgewood.
Had a wide open net, just couldn't hook the twig around the post.
Cormanic, the captain, puts on the brakes, lost the possession, rushing back to Zarro. Cormanic not giving up without a fight. Now Stepney takes over. Stepney switching gears, bursting through center. Kyle Stepney working, feeds it in front. It got blocked off the skate there. Contact in there in front. Stepney.
Gotta take care of the puck.
Possession. Labos. DeZarro just missed.
Unlucky for Stony Brook there. So close to having the winner. Leopard's got to take care of the puck.
Labos in front. Save. Rebound. Score! Peter Labos, overtime winner.
Reganado goes right over, doesn't even go to celebrate with his team first, goes to tap Andrew Barron on the mask. Because that truly was a goalie battle. And the turnover in their own zone for the Farmingdale Rams. Unable to get the puck out. They could have had a 2-on-1 going one way. Didn't take care of the puck. Stony Brook steal it. Labos denied initially, but stays on the biscuit and is able to beat Barron on the second time of asking.
Fourth of the season, and it couldn't have come in a bigger way for Peter Labos, the Syosset, New York native. What a hockey game.
I don't know how you guys feel up here. I don't know how everyone in the building feels. I don't know how everyone feels at home. But I'm cool with putting this down for a 3-game series every season. Like, this was a lot of fun. Let's make this a 3-game series, not just one game anymore. This was great. Long Island hockey needs this.
We're getting 4 of them next year. So, listen, this is everything we wanted here. We wanted a close game, a good game, and we delivered.
Keep it coming. I think I think you guys will agree with me on this one. This one easily could have went to either side. Both teams had moments throughout the game where they took over. Both teams had moments throughout the game where things were a little shaky and sloppy.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a Stony Brook team. I mean, you don't know Justin Nakagawa in the lineup. That's a big threat on the offense that wasn't in the lineup tonight for Stony Brook. I mean, not trying to make excuses for the Seawolves tonight for getting this one to overtime, but this is as good of a win for Stony Brook to get back in the win column as it was for Farmingdale to show that they're competing at a top 20 ACHA D1 level.
I think there was a lot of people that came into this one looking on paper saying, Farmingdale, M2, this is going to be a cakewalk for the Seawolves, and I think the Rams proved it.
Honestly, that's what it should have been for Stony Brook. And all the stats would have said that this should have been an absolute wash of a game. And listen, I've had conversations on the backside of this one saying, like, listen, this might be a close one here tonight, folks. If Stony Brook doesn't come in and absolutely play their top A game, this is going to be a lot closer. And tonight, we got as close as you can get here before going to a shootout.
It was a lot of fun. I want to thank you guys for letting me jump on, be a part of the broadcast with you. It was a great game of hockey. Almost, we get 62 minutes almost of hockey here tonight.
Hey, listen, any bonus hockey is good with me.
62 minutes of hockey, over 80 shots on goal in total. Man, what can you ask for a better night?
And an overtime winner.
That's right.
And not a shootout winner.
Peter Labos, the hero, here on this Saturday evening, as we'll pack things up before we return January 9th for our next home broadcast right here on LI Sports Network, your home of Stony Brook Seawolves hockey. For all of us here, Mike Calandra, Trevor Magnani, Travis Quigley, a lot of people up in the booth here tonight saying so long, good night, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the new year.